He's one of the greatest frontmen in rock history, a showman, a rebel, and the unstoppable force behind the Rolling Stones. For more than 60 years, Mick Jagger has ruled the stage with swagger, confidence, and pure attitude. But behind the lights and the fame, Jagger has had his fair share of rivalries, artists and bands he simply refused to perform with. Not because they weren't talented, but because sometimes egos, history, and pride get louder than the music. Now, at 81, Mick Jagger has quietly revealed the 6 bands he swore he'd never share a stage with again. Let's dive into the stories behind the feuds, the tension, and the unforgettable moments that defined a generation. Number 1. Guns N' Roses. In the late 1980 seconds, rock had changed, and Guns N' Roses were the new rebels. They looked up to Jagger, but their wild behavior reminded him of his own past, and not in a good way. During an award show in 1989, Axl Rose made comments mocking older rock stars. Mick took it personally. He later said, "They think rebellion is volume. It's not, it's attitude." When offered the chance to perform together at a festival in the early 2000s, Jagger declined immediately. He said, "I've seen that movie before, and I don't need a sequel." Number 2. Aerosmith. By the late 1970 seconds, Aerosmith was often called the American Rolling Stones. For Mick, that label stung. He didn't hate them, but he disliked the constant comparisons. Steven Tyler once joked that Mick taught him everything, and Jagger responded, "I wish I hadn't." Despite offers for joint tours in the 1990 seconds, Mick always declined. He once said, "There's room for one set of lips on this stage mine." Number 3. Queen. When Queen exploded in the mid-70 seconds, Freddie Mercury's charisma rivaled Jagger's. There was mutual admiration and tension. Mercury idolized Jagger, but Jagger reportedly found Queen's theatrical shows too campy. He once told a producer, "Freddie doesn't just sing, he builds a cathedral around every note." In 1985, during Live Aid, both bands performed but never together. Jagger refused to share the stage, saying he didn't want 2 frontmen competing for one spotlight. Ironically, fans still remember both sets as the best performances of that day. Number 4. The Who, the Rolling Stones, and The Who came up together in the same London scene, but there was always friction between Jagger and Pete Townshend. Townshend once called the Stones a tired band playing old blues. Jagger didn't forget. He told a friend, "Pete always thought he was smarter than the rest of us." Though they respected each other's careers, Jagger refused multiple invitations to co-headline festivals with The Who in the 1980 seconds. He simply said, "Two loudmouths, one stage, no thanks." Number 5. Led Zeppelin. In the 1970 seconds, Led Zeppelin became the only band loud enough to challenge the Stones' dominance. But Jagger wasn't impressed. He once said, "They're great in the studio, but live? Too heavy? Too long?" When asked if the Stones would ever tour with Zeppelin, Jagger laughed and replied, "We'd drown in their amplifiers." Behind the humor, there was truth. Too many egos. Too much chaos. Mick Jagger preferred control. Zeppelin thrived on chaos. They were oil and water, and that's why they never shared a stage. Number 6. The Beatles. The rivalry between the Rolling Stones and the Beatles is one of the most famous in rock history. While the media loved to pit them against each other, there was always a subtle competition behind the smiles. Jagger once said, "We were never enemies, but we were never friends either." He admired their songwriting but hated the comparisons. When promoters tried to organize a shared concert in the 60 seconds, Jagger refused, saying, "We don't open for anyone, not even the Beatles." It wasn't hatred, it was pride. 2 kings couldn't share one throne. After decades of rivalry, pride, and competition, Mick Jagger still commands the stage like no one else. He once said, "You can't share the spotlight if you were born to create it." Even at 81, Jagger's fire still burns, proving that some legends don't follow trends. They set them. You've been watching Hollywood Golden Stars, where the untold stories of music's greatest icons come to life. If you love rock history and legends who changed the world, subscribe and ring the bell for more. Because next time, Freddie Mercury finally reveals the 6 singers he said he could never stand performing with.